that Facebook puts profits ahead of safety and well-being of its users. So joining me now is Senator Amy Klobuchar, the Minnesota Democrat who is a member of the subcommittee. And I know this is near and dear to your heart. You fight for to get all of this in working order. Thank you, Senator. I appreciate you joining us.
Thanks,
so,
Don.
You heard that Mark Zuckerberg is disputing the whistleblower's allegation, the testimony made. He flat out says that they do not prioritize profit over safety and well-being, and that many of her claims, and I quote, don't make any sense. What do you say to that, Senator?
I think every parent knows that's not true. Why? So many of our kids today are getting addicted to this product. We now learn from the whistleblower that Facebook was well aware that because of the way their algorithms work, young children were getting targeted with information on eating disorders that was not good scientific information at all. We know, as you just showed, that over 50% of the people that aren't getting vaccinated believe something that was a lie that they read on social media, yet Facebook continues to include this content. While I will note YouTube just recently banned all of it from their platform. And we also know that the violent content exists. So he can say what he wants. Did he, set out to have a product like this? I doubt it. But the truth is he set out to make a ton of money. And they are now worth over $1 trillion. And while he's sitting on his sailboat writing this post, there are kids that are basically getting hooked on their product. And one thing we learned from my antitrust hearing, every quarter they make $51 off of you, Don Lemon. Every single quarter they make $51 off of every American that's a user. And I just think enough is enough. Privacy laws, they've stopped them, as well as these other platforms. We haven't updated our competition policy. Innovation could help us here, but they are the big bullies on the block. And I think this whistleblower, Frances Haugen, is finally going to be the tipping point.
You questioned Frances Haugen over the spread of misinformation surrounding the 2020 election. I want to play it.
On 60 Minutes, you said that Facebook implemented safeguards to reduce misinformation ahead of the 2020 election, but turned off those safeguards right after the election. And you know that the insurrection occurred January 6th. Do you think that Facebook turned off the safeguards because they were costing the company money, because it was reducing profits?
Facebook changed those safety defaults in the run-up to the election because they knew they were dangerous. And because they wanted that growth back, they wanted the acceleration of the platform back after the election, they returned to their original defaults. And the fact that they had to break the glass on January 6th and turn them back on, I think that's deeply problematic.
So this theme of growth before safety and this amplification of misinformation, what worries you most after hearing this testimony, Senator?
What worries me most is that will we finally act? Because we've had hearings like this before. Colleagues on both sides of the aisle, I think, are truly horrified by it. But then they turn the corner in the Capitol, Don, and they see a lobbyist paid for by tech. They basically bought out a bunch of people in this town. They throw a lot of money around, and now is the time to act. No federal privacy laws for over a decade, no updates when it comes to our competition policy. We should be as sophisticated as these companies in how we approach them. So what I hope is that my colleagues will join us, those of us, Senator Blumenthal, Senator Blackburn, myself, Senator Grassley, who are willing to take this on. And we need to move forward.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Do you think that can happen in a divided Congress?
It's not just about divides on this issue. It's about a whole lot of people that are listening to a whole lot of lobbyists instead of listening to that whistleblower. And the time has come for action. We can have more hearings, we can do more investigations, but I think the House investigation made it clear these are dominant platforms, and we need to make sure that we allow innovation and competition, that we don't let them discriminate against their competitors and exclude competitors, and that we finally put a privacy law and some algorithm transparency in place. This is a lot on our agenda, but if we don't do this, we're literally believing them when they say, trust us.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I'll
Don.
let the viewers answer that. Thank you very much, Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So Brian Laundrie's sister saying